I stood there in my own living room, holding the wedding invitation samples we'd spent 3 hours picking out just last week, and watched my fiancée Emma laugh in my face. "You'll be forgotten in days," she said, her phone still in her hand, mid-text to whoever had her attention now. "I've already found someone else. I need you to understand something. This wasn't a fight. We weren't arguing. I had just asked her a simple question. Why have you been so distant lately?" And she laughed. That moment, that's when everything shattered. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back 6 months to when I should have seen the signs. My name is Marcus, and I thought I was marrying the love of my life. Emma and I had been together for 3 years. I'm a software engineer, nothing flashy, but I make good money. I'm stable, reliable. Maybe that was the problem. Emma worked in marketing at a startup downtown. Creative, ambitious, beautiful. Everyone said we were perfect together. And for a long time, I believed it too. The change started subtly. She'd come home later. Her phone was always face down. She stopped asking about my day. When I'd suggest date nights, she'd sigh like I was burdening her with chores. "I'm just stressed with work," she'd say. And like an idiot, I believed her. I gave her space. I picked up more household responsibilities. I planned our wedding mostly alone, telling myself I was being supportive. The venue, the caterer, the flowers. I handled it because she was too busy. Looking back now, I see how perfectly she manipulated me. Every time I questioned her behavior, she'd flip it. "Why are you so insecure? Don't you trust me? You're being controlling." So I stopped asking. I didn't want to be that guy. But 3 days ago, everything came crashing down. Her laptop was open on the kitchen counter. A message notification popped up. I wasn't snooping. It was right there. "Can't wait for this weekend. Tell Marcus you have that work conference." My stomach dropped. I clicked. I know I shouldn't have, but I did. Months of messages, months of lies, photos I couldn't unsee, plans they'd made, jokes about me, about how boring I was, how easy I was to fool. There was one message that burned into my brain. "He's so busy planning our wedding, he doesn't even notice I'm planning my exit." The ring was nice though. I'll probably keep it and sell it later. I confronted her that evening, calmly. I had screenshots on my phone, evidence she couldn't deny. And that's when she laughed. "Yeah, I've been seeing Brad for 4 months, she said, shrugging like we were discussing the weather. "He's exciting, he takes risks. Yours to ask what I did wrong." Instead, I felt something click inside me, like waking up from a dream. "Get out," I said quietly. Emma's laugh died. "What? Get out of my apartment." "Our apartment," she corrected, but her confidence wavered. "My name is on the lease. Yours isn't. You have 1 hour to pack essentials. I'll have the rest of your things shipped wherever you want. But you're leaving. Now." For the first time in 6 months, I saw actual emotion on her face. Panic. "Marcus, wait, let's talk about this." "There's nothing to talk about. You made your choice. You said I'd forget you in days. Let's test that theory. You have 58 minutes now." She tried everything in that hour. Tears, apologies, anger. She even tried seduction, which made my skin crawl. But I was done. Here's what you need to know about the previous 6 months that I didn't see clearly until that moment. Emma hadn't just been distant. She'd been systematically isolating me. My best friend Jake, she'd convinced me he was toxic and jealous of our relationship. We stopped hanging out. My weekly basketball games, too much time away from us, she said. I quit. My sister's birthday dinner, Emma picked a fight that morning so I'd be too upset to go, then blamed me for abandoning her when she was emotionally vulnerable. One by one, she cut me off from everyone who might have noticed what was happening, who might have warned me. The wedding planning, she wanted me busy, distracted. While I was comparing napkin colors, she was building a whole separate life. Brad was her boss, by the way. 38 years old, divorced twice, reputation for dating his employees. Real winner. Emma was 26 and thought she'd found her ticket to somewhere better than boring Marcus. As she packed, my phone started buzzing. She was already spinning the narrative. Text from her mother. "How could you call off the wedding? Emma is heartbroken." Facebook post from Emma. "Sometimes you discover who people really are. Heartbroken but healing. Thank you to those who know the truth." She worked fast. I'll give her that. But I was faster. I posted the screenshots. Not to Facebook. I'm not that guy. But to a private group chat with our mutual friends. 10 people who deserved to know the truth before they heard her lies. This is why I ended my engagement. Make your own judgments. Within 20 minutes, my phone exploded. My friend Sarah. "Oh my God, Marcus, we had no idea." Jake. "Brother, I'm so sorry. I knew something was off, but I'm here. Emma's own cousin. I'm disgusted. You deserve so much better." The tide turned quickly. By the time Emma finished packing, her own friends were questioning her. Her social media heartbroken post had comments asking for her side of the story, which she couldn't give without lying further. "You'll regret this," she hissed on her way out, 2 suitcases in hand. "Brad treats me like a queen. You were just a placeholder. Then you should feel relieved," I said, holding the door open. "Goodbye, Emma." She left. I closed the door, and I stood there in the silence of my apartment. finally, my apartment, and took the deepest breath I'd taken in months. But the story doesn't end there. 2 weeks later, Emma showed up at my door at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. Mascara running, hair disheveled. "He dumped me," she sobbed. "Brad said I was too clingy. Marcus, please, I made a mistake. I love you. I always loved you." I stood in the doorway, not letting her in. "No, you didn't." "I did." I was confused. I was scared of commitment. Emma, stop. Something in my voice made her pause. "You loved what I provided. Stability, attention, someone who made you feel special while you figured out if you could do better. That's not love. That's convenience. That's not true. Brad dumped you because you tried to move too fast, didn't he? You probably suggested moving in together immediately, maybe even mentioned marriage, because that's what you do. You lock people down before they figure out who you really are." Her face went pale. Direct hit. "Here's what happened," I continued, my voice steady. "Brad was never going to leave his bachelor lifestyle for you. You gambled on the exciting guy and lost. Now you want your safe bet back. But I'm not a backup plan, and I'm not a rehabilitation center for people who need to learn how to treat others with respect. I made one mistake, one 4-month-long mistake. 120 days of lying, cheating and manipulating. That's not a mistake, Emma. That's a character reveal." Tears streamed down her face, but I felt nothing. No satisfaction, no pain, just neutrality. "What about the wedding deposits?" she asked quietly, trying a different angle. "The venue, the caterer, that's thousands of dollars. I cancelled everything the day after you left. Lost some deposits, got most back. The venue was surprisingly understanding when I explained why. And my ring? Returned it. Store had a 30-day return policy. Got every penny back." Her face crumpled. The ring was the one thing she'd admitted she wanted to keep and sell. "You really moved on that fast." "Emma, I didn't move on fast. I woke up. There's a difference." She tried to push past me into the apartment. I blocked her. "Marcus, please, just talk to me. We're done talking. You need to leave or I'm calling the police for trespassing." "You've changed," she spat, her sadness morphing into anger. "You're cold, mean. This isn't who you are. You're right. The old Marcus would have let you walk all over him, apologize to you for catching you cheating, and probably take you back because he was too afraid to be alone. That Marcus is gone. You killed him, so thank you for that actually." I started closing the door. "You'll never find someone like me," she shouted. I paused, looked her dead in the eye, and smiled. "That's the whole point." I closed the door, locked it, and this time, I didn't hear her crying on the other side. I heard her screaming, then her footsteps stomping away, then silence. It's been 3 months since that night. Emma tried reaching out twice more, once through her mother, once through a fake Instagram account. I blocked both. I heard through mutual friends that she tried getting back together with Brad. He blocked her. She's apparently dating someone new now, posting photos with captions about real love and learning from the past. Good for her, I guess. That's not my problem anymore. As for me, I reconnected with Jake, started playing basketball again, had dinner with my sister last week. She told me she never liked Emma but didn't want to say anything because I seemed happy. I'm in therapy now, learning to spot manipulation tactics and rebuild my self-worth. Turns out being nice and being a doormat are different things and I'd blurred that line. I'm not dating yet. Maybe in a few months, maybe next year. There's no rush. But I'm not forgotten. Not by my real friends, not by my family, and most importantly, not by myself. Emma said I'd be forgotten in days. She was wrong. The truth is she's the one who's already fading from my memory. Every day I think about her less. The betrayal stings less. The apartment feels more like home. I saw her last week actually. Pure coincidence. Same coffee shop. She was with some new guy laughing too loud, touching his arm too frequently, performing happiness. Our eyes met for a split second. I smiled, grabbed my coffee, and walked out. Because here's what I learned. The best revenge isn't making them regret losing you. It's becoming someone who's grateful they left. Emma thought she'd forget me in days. Instead, I forgot what it felt like to settle for someone who saw me as forgettable. And that's the real ending.